All right, welcome to another GameItAll.com live. My name is Lucas Grimm.
Hey, what up, I'm Pino25.
Adelaris.
So, we have an actual decent amount of news this week for the podcast. And I want to start with something that I actually don't have in the list here. We had a surprise release last week. It's definitely a surprise for me because I would have jumped on this news the minute that was said. But XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus for the Vita. That came out of nowheres. It wasn't even listed on any place that the game was going to come out. And then along with Bully and Manhunt for PlayStation 4 was released. Like 2K just pulled a fast one on us.
What? Isn't that a good thing?
Oh yeah, no, it's a great thing. It's just the thing is, there's been, aside from rumors from the ESRB, there was literally nothing. Like, no one even knew that XCOM Enemy Unknown was coming to the Vita, except for that one leak from the ESRB. There hasn't even been an official announcement.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird, especially for a big company like that. They usually announce everything they have.
And especially with a series like XCOM, I think people would have loved to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it happened. Did you buy it?
No, not yet. That's the reason why I'm pissed, because if I would have known, I would have saved up some money and bought it. But now I have to wait till,
Yeah.
And also depending if Project Diva Second F is still on sale next week, then that's going to get passed on. I mean, well, then again, also this week another game that we're going to talk about, Civilization Revolution 2, is coming to the Vita. That they actually did announce and said that it was on its way. So, we're ahead on the news on that side.
Okay, cool. Cool.
But also, speaking of games that are going to be coming out, Sega announced that Yakuza 0 is actually coming to North America and has a release window of next year. So,
Cool.
early next year. So, we're not going to have to wait as long as we did for Yakuza 5. And that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, that was definitely a long wait.
Well, that was almost 6 years. It was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, people have been panning for that game for so long, and then it finally got over. And the problem is, after it got over, it was at the point that people didn't really care, and that was the worst part.
Yeah, because when you release a game, it's kind of important to get it out everywhere as much as you can while it's still relevant. There's not many... Oh, did he cut out?
No, I'm good. Keep going.
I thought I got booted again.
No, it's just
I lost my
something
train of
happened.
thought. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, it's important for games to try and release as quickly as possible once it is out in other areas, because there has been other games where they'll release in Japan, but by the time they get to the US, because they wait so long, a lot of the times that they just lose steam and they don't do as well. Whereas at least within the last few years, for the most part, there's been a lot of a harder push for simultaneous releases. A good example would be like Final Fantasy. It used to be like a year release in between.
Or longer.
And they're trying to do it. They're trying to do it with 15 to be right away. The same thing with Persona 5.
They did that with, I think, starting with 13, I believe.
Yes.
And it's definitely a lot better. I mean, 13 itself wasn't a great game, but at least everybody got to see it at once, so there was also less chance of people who are like very spoiler sensitive on stuff to get spoiled on it because it's not out anywhere yet. Then once it's out, it's out everywhere, so they can get right on it.
Yep. Oh yeah, Enemy Unknown for the Vita is $20.
Yep.
Tis a
And Logan
bargain.
just joined in.
Hey.
Okay, sup. So let's move on to one of the next things, which actually brought a little bit of confusion for some people. Fifth Cell. People know Fifth Cell as the creators of Scribblenauts and Drawn to Life. Their latest game, Fighting Words, had been canceled, but when that information came out, the word was that Fifth Cell was completely shut down. That is actually no longer the case. The Fifth Cell actually wrote about the layoffs that happened with it, which was 45 of their talented staff was let go. The layoffs was not a sign of that the studio was closing down. They are just reworking their everybody's place, getting everything worked on. So that
I don't think they were that big of a company, so that it sounds like that layoff of 45 people was probably really significant.
the LinkedIn page for Fifth Cells has people listed anywhere from 51 to 200 employees.
Okay, so up to a quarter of them were gone.
Yeah, up to a quarter. Like, things have been moved around. There has been a lot of changes, but the company itself is not shut down. So there is still a chance that we may still see a Scribblenauts game or Drawn to Life or whatever other games that Fifth Cell will be working on in the future. It's just not in the near future.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the WB canceled Fighting Words. That resulted in layoffs, which resulted into the rumors of Fifth Cell closing, and Fifth Cell has stated that they are still fine.
Yeah. Okay. Restructuring.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
There's restructuring. It happens like all the time. It's unfortunate that people lose their jobs over it. Hopefully they'll be able to get access to other places and continue their kickassery.
Yeah. But it's a general fact of this. You know, if you're not making money, you can't keep people.
Or if your parent company shuts down one of your next big game, then yeah.
Yeah.
Then.
So, Minecraft.
Yes.
We have some interesting news about Minecraft Story Mode, which is sure to please one of our reviewers, because he absolutely hates the episodic content. Now,
who might that be?
That would be Dave. Dave's written the review on those. He hasn't joined us on the podcast at any point yet, but hopefully he'll be up sometime soon. Probably join us for one of our live streams that we're going to do in the near future. But anyways, moving on. Telltale has actually announced that Episode 5, which was supposed to be the last of the Minecraft Story Mode games, isn't the last of the series. We're actually going to get 3 more chapters. So, after Episode 5, there is an Episode 6, 7, and 8 that will come through. Now, the thing is, with 6, 7, 8, you will have to purchase them. They're not part of your season pass.
So are they going to sell like a mini season pass?
It's not said so far. They have not stated anything. Now, the Minecraft Story Mode with us, especially, has seen some mixed reviews with each episode. Some of them being really highly praised with being a lot of fun, and others just being very dull. But one thing that the game has been praised about is its voice cast. And to be honest, Patton Oswalt, Paul Rubin, Sean Astin, Melissa Hutchinson, so many good voice actors and actresses. It's amazing.
But it's a Telltale game. I don't expect anything but, great audio, great dialogue. And it can't be
the
any
occasional crash when trying to save.
And it can't be any worse than frickin' Jurassic Park. Come on.
Jurassic Park will always be a stain on Telltale.
Yeah.
And mainly because they've always done a great job. And then you have Jurassic Park.
To be fair, though, there's no content creator that doesn't have one turd under the mat.
True.
Or more than one.
It's true.
I don't know. Would you consider the Wallace and Gromit games to be part of that, or?
That's a long time ago.
I think that's so long ago that we can just ignore it.
Yeah, because like back then they had frickin' whatchamacallit, what was that called? Sam and Max.
Sam and Max was great. Definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You had that in Wallace and Gromit. You know, nothing could live up to Sam and Max.
No, nothing could live up to that. And their latest series that's going on with Walking Dead's spin-off, Michonne. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. I never could get her name correct, and I don't watch the show.
I'm pretty sure it is Michonne.
Michonne? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't watch the show, so I don't get that reference on there. Actually, one thing, speaking of Walking Dead, the season finale is next week, and they're finally bringing in one of the big bad guys, and I really feel like I should actually start watching it to actually get to that point.
I'm actually going to, because I've been down a while, but now I can be awake long enough to watch a few episodes at a time. So I'm definitely going to, in between watching, playing Stardew Valley, which I've been playing nonstop for 3 days.
I don't know. End of the month, it's all about Game of Thrones, so whatever.
Yep.
So having him show up now, which it's not a spoiler. It's just I'm not gonna bother getting into that area. having him showed up is going to be a big thing for Walking Dead, and the fact that we've been told that somebody is going to die, that's possibly going to be somebody that I know a lot of people are not going to be happy about it.
Hang on, somebody dying in The Walking Dead?
Oh God,
what?
no! But it's the character. The rumor is it's the character that you should leave alone, that you don't want to kill.
Honestly, though, I think if they kill that character, the show is kind of downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You pretty much could kill anyone else and the show will be fine. You kill him, you lost pretty much all of your female audience. From what I see. So, we'll just throw that out there. But, yeah, it should be interesting. The second episode of Michonne is coming out soon. The new trailer has come out as well. Looks action-packed. It'll be up on the site very soon. I can't wait to see what's going to go on in that one.
Mm.
Now, speaking of another company that has TT in their title, Traveler Tales Games, the company well known for Lego everything, is finally switching up.
Company.
They are finally switching up their Lego gameplay with the next game, Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So we know already with Lego Star Wars that we're going to get a expanded story. It's going to explain a lot more of the little things that happened in their own little Lego way. The thing is, we're actually going to get some cool gameplay features, which include dogfighting. So, and I mean dogfighting in terms of flying.
Oh, okay.
Flying dogfighting. They're not gonna. Yeah, I caught that. Yeah. No, we're gonna have X-wing TIE fighters going to be flying around shooting each other. There's actually going to be shooter gameplay going on, third-person shooter gameplay. So pretty much they're taking everything that the Lego series has been up to this point, and
So
adding some more cool stuff that's more mature gameplay.
they're giving you Rogue Squadron Lego style.
Yes.
Dude,
Okay.
Rogue Squadron's so good.
God, that sold the GameCube.
So yeah, that
Yeah.
pretty much Rogue
GameCube?
Squadron.
No, that was
Well-
N64, dude.
Well, they had it on the first one was on the N64. Then they had the two other ones on the GameCube.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Number
no.
2 is amazing.
The one that came out on the GameCube definitely sold the GameCube. I will definitely admit that. I mean,
I'll play it sometime.
that game looked great.
Yeah, it was like we'd go and rent the physical machine for that game. So yeah.
So, Lego Force Awakens coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo 3DS, PlayStation Vita, and PC on June 28th.
Let's just essentially say everything.
Except
But
the
it's not. Except for the Ouya.
Including your Commodore 64. Oh yeah.
Now, there's actually a lot more that will be in this. So there's going to be 18 linear levels, 5 open world hub areas, 40 controllable vehicles, and 200 playable characters. That's,
That's a lot.
typical Lego game.
That's typical Lego, but at the same time, just seeing those numbers is still feels like a lot. So this is actually going to be a big amount of content. And for some reason, I don't know why, but this game looks so much better than all the other Lego games combined. Like, it looks like they actually put shine to the Legos and, like, added a few more maps.
It's a typical thing for console games where over time they just optimize it so they could add more to it. So they probably optimize the graphics that they can get the code to display a bit things fancier without being too heavy on the system.
True.
Plus next-gen systems are amazing anyway.
Oh, I forget. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
I was going to say, and they're just starting to fully realize their potential.
Yeah, it takes time to dig in there for devs and go, okay, we can actually do this, because it took a couple years for the PS3 for them to actually start doing stuff.
Yeah, it's typically 3 to 4 years before you start tapping out what it really can do. Because I mean, compare GTA 4 to GTA 5.
And didn't they also just unlock like another core in the PS4?
A little while ago.
Yeah. So you got that in addition to, better coding, better graphics, more idea of what they want to do with it.
Not to mention that we're getting a 4.5, which is going to be mainly because they want to release the PlayStation VR, so it has
also,
the extra processing.
What do you mean 4.5?
A PS4 and a half that you'd get. They'd be slapping a new video card in it and a much faster GPU and CPU.
Yeah, it's going to have the VR stuff built into it rather than a separate component, but it also caters to 4K TVs.
And 60 frames per second.
Which apparently is actually still up in the air. There's still a lot of resolution combat with resolution that's happening right now. So I'm waiting.
Ignorance. Do you know if there's going to be a way to upgrade your current system to it?
No, you got to buy a whole
you
new
have
set.
to buy a new system.
But I can't replace mine.
You won't need to, really, unless you get a 4K TV or a VR. If you get a 4K TV, then you're just a douchebag that needs a 4.5.
But you could buy the 4K for like under $1,000 now. So
exactly, you're a douchebag with the 4K TV.
But also, we got a full price in Canadian for the PSVR. It's $549.99 for just the device.
Yeah.
So over $600 with tax.
Yeah, if you don't have a 4K TV but already have a standard PlayStation, then the only upgrade you really need is just the PSVR set rather than a whole new PlayStation.
And the camera if you don't have it.
the primary bundle has the camera with it, but
Yeah.
there's a cheaper bundle that just
Well, for $5.99,
Yeah.
$5.49, you just get the device.
I think that
And
comes
for
out tomorrow.
And for $700, you can buy the whole bundle. A full sexy bundle.
So, let's talk about funding of a game. Last year, we had our Game of the Year, obviously. And for Best Horror Game, we gave it to Soma. Well-deserved, and frankly, that game deserves everything that it got. Now, the thing is, the game, Frictional Games, has announced that it only sold about 250,000 copies of the game, which is actually 20 to 30,000 shy of what the developer needs to completely recoup the costs of the game's 5-year development. The studio has said that they are selling the game at 125 copies a day, so they're optimistic that it's going to pay for itself by the end of the year. But at the same time, the funding is not at 100%, which is pretty interesting because 5 years development time. We were told early on that the game went gold. It actually did reach the funding for their next game, but it hasn't reached the actual overall that has become profitable.
And it's incredibly popular on Steam.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, the game is definitely positive, and yeah, it's just all the money that the game has earned so far has gone back to funding for other projects that they're working on. So hopefully, they're going to recoup their losses and get everything up to full stuff at the end of the year.
Well, yeah.
It's pretty impressive though, just to see it, but also. In comparison, a game with a similar scope was Firewatch. Within the first month, Firewatch sold 500,000 copies. And I don't know, I'm not sure why Firewatch actually did better than Soma.
Have you seen the graphics on it?
Have you seen the graphics for Soma?
Yeah, Soma was fucked up.
They're not both the same, though. One's very claustrophobic, and the other one's very open-aired. I think part of the thing is that Firewatch is definitely a lot more accessible because not everybody likes scary games.
Yeah.
Whereas Overwatch was...
Overwatch?
No, sorry. Firewatch. Yeah. I had the word watch, I just forgot the first part. Anyways... Yeah, it's hard to compare the two visually. Like they definitely have a similar core where you're just sort of trying to investigate a mystery going on, but one of them is based around horror, where the other one's more around a weird mystery that you're trying to uncover.
Psychological.
Yeah.
Well, they're both really very psychological.
You get to the end of Soma, it's
yeah. The ending of Soma is definitely a trip for those that weren't picking up right away, but the visual aspects of both of them are very different. One's intentionally closed; it's designed to stress you out, where the other one's very open and at least at the start of the game, very breathable and fun to look at.
But two great games. Firewatch was cheaper; it was $10 less, so. And, it's a horror game, so...
Cost definitely has a lot to do with it. I would also imagine the Let's Playing aspects of it would make a difference, too. Because pretty much everybody Let's Played it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Both Soma and Firewatch.
Yeah.
Which also brings the attention, because this actually was talked about earlier this week as well. Would the Let's Play actually hurt those two games?
A little bit, I think.
A little bit, depending on how branching they are, because if you take a game like Until Dawn, there's a lot of different ways to play it. Like, ultimately, you kind of get the same primary branch, but there's so many choices you can make in between that even if you Let's Played it and then went to play for yourself, you can still have a different story come out of it. But it seems that those two games are very linear, so that might have hurt them quite a bit.
One that a developer that actually stated that the Let's Play did hurt them was for That Dragon Cancer. They were mentioning that the Let's Play definitely hurt the game. And especially, though, that's why they actually, I believe they released a notices to request that the monetization be turned off. I'm going to double check that, though, just to make sure.
Yeah, there's not a lot of games that Let's Playing would hurt, per se, but it really depends on the context going on with the game. If you take a game that really has no story, like, say, StarCraft or stuff like that, Let's Play doesn't hurt it at all. If anything, it makes it better because it's part of esports now.
Yeah.
But again, like that Dragons game...
That Dragon Cancer.
Yeah, very linear and not much else to explore once you've seen the story once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I don't have anything about taking down monetization, so I could have been wrong by that and just heard that from a friend of mine. So I'll just retract that statement.
Too late. It's on the internet.
Oh, snap.
But yeah, it's definitely a context-sensitive issue. But again, more games benefit from it than they would otherwise, because there's a lot of games that, outside of a Let's Play community, would have not gained the momentum that it would have had otherwise. Minecraft was a pretty early example of that, where it blew up everywhere, and there's so much you could do. Everybody sees people enjoying it and creating stuff, so they go get the game themselves to do the same things.
Yeah.
With Minecraft, but though you have to look at exactly what kind of game it is, because it, like you said earlier, it really is if the game is mainly about the story, Let's Plays don't do it any kind of good.
It depends how linear the story is.
If it's a game that relies a lot on skill, then Let's Plays are fantastic for it, because you see these people doing these crazy things, you're like, I want to be that good.
Okay, let's move on here. Actually, before we go further, I want to thank our sponsor for Game It All Live.
Yes.
So, our sponsor this week is HostGator. Now, HostGator is the leading provider of hosting, VPN service, and dedicated hosting. And they are kind enough to give us a coupon for 25% off of your first hosting package. So all you have to do is go to HostGator.com, sign up for your first hosting package, and use the coupon code GameItAll, and you'll get 25% off your first package.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, thank you for the sponsorship, HostGator. You guys are awesome. We trust them so much that we actually have our website on HostGator. And yeah, they're awesome.
Can't go wrong with saving money. Oh yeah, 25%.
So let's talk about people getting offended, and actually rightfully offended.
Okay, that's all right.
That's different.
We'll add in that's rightfully offended, because we're going to talk about UFC 2. Now,
Okay.
I'm still doing the review for UFC 2. So far, I'm enjoying it. But if you watched our Let's Play last night, our Noobs Play, the fight between me and Mike would have shown how glitchy the game can get. We had flying kicks going on at the same time and had our characters stumble and then jump back up. We had our ankles turn inside out and then go back to normal. It looked just very painful. But one thing that the animators have did was that mostly every fight cinematic that ended with like knockouts and like, oh, I won, yeah, had the guy doing crosses. It's like always, no matter what religion, what area he was from, no matter what, he always had the, oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That has finally been patched, thanks to, and it was brought up by attention thanks to some members on Twitter that had mentioned that they were Muslim and wanted to have more religious, like removal of the religious celebrations.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, not everyone is Christian. Not everyone is going to do the crosses when they win.
It's
Like,
not even all Christians. It's almost primarily a Catholic thing.
yeah, even then, it's a Catholic thing. Not every fighter is Catholic.
Yeah.
I mean, according to Daredevil, they're probably the best ones. I mean, every fighter I've ever seen in Daredevil so far, from what I've watched, have some Catholic appeal to them, which is weird.
Well, it's part of
That's all part of the story of Daredevil.
for Daredevil, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just to throw that out there, But yeah, as I said, it was like I'm not holding a grudge.
I honestly think it's just an oversight they didn't think about when making the game, because I mean, seeing how buggy it still is kind of makes me think it wasn't as play tested as thoroughly as it should have been, and it's just something that was oversighted. They didn't think about that.
It's an easy cinematic.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's an easy thing to oversight, and like they didn't mean it in any way to offend people.
Yeah.
And this was their message back to them. Just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that we've seen your concerns in regards to your fight celebration. We've informed our development team about the issue and will change the celebration in our next update. Apologies if this offended you in any ways. And as I said, I wasn't offended. It's just, I have nothing against Christians. Every man in this life has his own way, and my way is Islam. Developers of the game made a mistake. To be honest, every human being makes mistakes. I'm not holding a grudge. That was his statement. The person that brought it up.
Yeah, so they fixed it. End the story. Really.
Yeah, exactly. They went in, they fixed it. Everything's awesome. We no longer have the super cross victory pose animation, and yeah, that's actually better now, because it's something like I didn't even notice it until I read the article, and I was like, that is fucking true. They do that with every fighter.
It's because, for the most part, a lot of them, like in real sports, there's a lot of fighters that do that regardless. So people don't think about it. They just, I've seen that 1,000 times by now, so it's not something they think about.
Yeah, like it's not something that they think about. At the same time, it didn't catch me that they did that, because like I'm never looking at the final animation that, oh, everybody's doing the same bit of animation, like where everyone's doing the cross and like, yeah, I won. Like
most people are just tapping the X to get to the next screen. So
exactly, and that's mainly my fault. that's my fault on that side.
I don't want to see this animation 5 million times.
I've seen this side again. Okay, I won. I'm good. Okay. Yeah, woo, I won. I don't need to see my walkout, even though I'm listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers all the time. Just don't need it. So last thing I want to talk about, Homefront is coming out soon. The next open world version, which is Homefront Revolution. Now, one of the major things with
the non-THQ game.
The non-THQ one, the one that's being made in Crytek and Deep Silver producing.
Publishing.
They're publishing. I don't know if Crytek's actually doing it anymore. Actually, now that I remember that they had problems financially.
Yeah, they had some sort of issue.
I have to double check that again. But aside from that, one of the major things that's going to be different with Revolution coming out.
Oh no, it's Dam Busters. It's their first game. Oh,
What?
they were Free Radical before.
Oh, they were Free Radical before? That's going to be great. I need that. Instantly moved that to the top of my list. So, with Revolution, one of the major things with Revolution that's going to be different this time is that you're not going to be able to pick up your enemy's weapons. And that is because the year is 2029, the Korean People's Army that's taken over America has high-tech guns that are user-locked with advanced biometrics.
That's smart.
It makes sense. So that is putting more features on the guerrilla warfare playstyle that you're going to be doing throughout the game, which involves customizing your own weapons to making sure that you are ready to go in and just destroy anybody at any point in time. But you still have to do it smart.
I like I like it when games just have customizations in general, be it weapons or whatever.
Armor, whatnot.
Now,
Is it bad that the first thing I think of when you say bio-locked is take their hands too?
Yeah, really.
We've seen this before. I've always wanted to shoot 'em up game.
Biometrics are like even as of now, they're smart enough to know whether that hand is alive or dead. So
yeah, 2029, and I'm sure it'll be even better.
Yeah.
I guess thinking from a I like to ruin things type of view, I have to go, all right, so what exactly are they measuring? If I make a glove with this person... well, here's the thing. If I make a membrane-thin glove with their fingerprints on it...
Are you going to have time to do that on a battlefield?
Maybe
While
not.
you're getting shot at?
Depends. I mean, it's 2029. For all you know, they now have these gloves that self-modify.
You're 2029. In the year 2029, as a guerrilla force that old U.S., like Korea taking over the U.S., Red Dawn style, just Red Dawn remake style.
No, the first one was Red Dawn. Now,
Red Dawn, the first one was Russia.
Well, yeah, Korea. But like it was their version of Red Dawn.
Yeah.
In the first game.
Yeah, exactly. The first game I didn't mind so much, but it just...
it was short. It was
way too short, yeah.
I actually enjoyed it. It was very pretty. Like, it was really well made, but it was short. I think I finished it in like 4.5 hours, and I was like, what? Yeah.
And, yeah, that's everything that we had for the news. Guess it was a little bit shorter than we thought it was.
It's all good.
That's fine, because we also have Talking Shit coming up. Big news. We do have a couple new features coming to the site. We have a new writer coming in soon. He's going through the final stages. Should be great. We also have a anime review from another new writer. And the anime reviews is going to be more of a weekly thing that's coming up. Our first one's being posted tomorrow, and it's going to be Panty and Stocking. Just to,
okay.
We got to start this thing off right. It started off right with the most obscure and hypersexualized and disturbing anime you can find.
So essentially, it goes with the porn section of the site.
There you go.
Because we were talking about VR porn on Saturday, so this just goes. Maybe you can watch it in VR.
Well, if you keep with the TV view.
Porn at all?
Go.
We don't need that. No, we don't. Just no.
It'll just be.
I volunteer as tribute.
No.
All right.
It'll
Was
just
there
be
anything else?
Sly doing a
Oh,
podcast.
it's also new release days. Now there's a whole bunch of Oculus Rift games that came out today because the Rift is out.
Well, yeah. Today is the start of the VR.
Today is the start of VR, and it's going to be interesting to see how this moves on.
I'll have a Samsung VR soon.
You'll have a what?
The Samsung VR.
Of the VR games that are out for the Oculus Rift this week, we have Adrift and Eve Valkyrie as two of the major ones that I wanted to mention. Everyone else, Keep Talking and No One Explodes is another great one. All the other ones are just little fun mini games. And
I feel like Addy would lose that game.
Starting tomorrow, we have Killer Instinct Season 3 starts for Windows and Xbox One.
Yes.
Minecraft Story Mode Episode 5, Order Up, for everything, except for the Nintendo consoles. MLB 16, The Show, for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Nightcry, the latest game from the creators of Clock Tower, coming to Windows tomorrow.
Whoa.
Knights of Azure for PlayStation 4. No Time to Explain for PlayStation 4. Walking Dead Michonne Episode 2, Give No Shelter for PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. And Unepic for PS4 and Vita.
Wasn't No Time to Explain a Flash game?
I think
it
so,
started
and I seen the trailer for it. It looked like a lot of fun, but it does remind me of a Flash game.
Also, Unepic is pretty good.
Unepic is pretty fun. Also...
no, just keep going, and I'll put my 2 cents after.
Okay,
It's something that came out today.
Also, later on this week, on April 1st, we have Adam's Ventures Origins for Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Skipbold, a dodgeball adventure for Windows. I have no idea what that is, but it's from Curve Digital, so
Okay.
Normally they're usually pretty good.
If you don't dodge a wrench, I'm not interested.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to dodge a wrench.
Excellent.
Or maybe even a car.
We'll round it up. And if you are on Netflix, you get Trailer Park Boys today. Oh yeah, season 10, 13 glorious episodes.
Season 10, Snoop Dogg shows up and...
Oh fuck yeah, shit is going down.
That's how you do it in Canada, right?
Well, hell yeah. No, that's how you do it in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. You think of Nova Scotia, you think of the Trailer Park Boys.
It's
I mean,
true,
I just
actually.
don't really think of the Trailer Park Boys, so
He's a bad person.
never seen it.
Yeah, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
All right.
It's what life in Canada looks like.
Eh?
So that's everything for this. Oh, there is one more thing. We are actually going to have a special encore performance of Noobs Play tomorrow. This is like just a once in a long time thing because Clint wasn't able to join us during Sunday's broadcast, so we're going to just beat the snot out of him. It's gonna be fun because Clint is a button masher when it comes to fighting games. You cannot button mash in UFC, no matter what you try to do. So we're just gonna let him button mash, and we're gonna take him out. It's gonna be fun.
Think of an appropriate punishment.
I got to slap Mike because he screwed up and hit the pause button. You know, what more do you ask for? All right, that's actually everything that we have. That is everything we have. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, HostGator, and also check out their site, for 25% off your first hosting package. Use the coupon code GameItAll. And for GameItAll.com, I'm Lucas Grimm.
Hey, what up? I'm Pino25.
And Alaris.
And I'm Remnant.
And thank you for watching.